Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today the topic of our discussion, or today the topic I'm going to teach is function first class objects. How we create functions in Pythons, and how we create objects, and how we pass and arguments in functions. We know that everything in Python we know that everything in Python is treated as an object. Everything in Python is treated as an object, whether they are data types, whether they are lists, whether they are functions, um, whether they are classes. Like, we know that there are multiple data types, like predefined data types, user defined data types, and sequential data types. They are all treated as an object. But in Python, not only the data types are treated as an object, but functions and classes are also treated as an object. We knew that what are predefined data types, they are already known in our programming language. We only use them, we cannot change them, they are already defined in our programming. But there are some other data types which are user defined data user defined data types. What are the functions that we use? A user create these data types, user use the data types, and user can modify these data types in any place in our code. So um, functions, and in Python, objects not only are data types, but functions and classes are also treated as an objects, which is the first class objects. And these are the functions and classes are treated as a user def user defined objects. It means that user create the functions and classes and perform operations and write code and all the things that we do in classes and functions. So these classes and functions, they are manipulated in the same way as built-in data types, that we create them, that we modify them, and that we use them. Function class objects are there are different functions, or there are different methods how we use them, how we create them. So functions and objects are function and classes that are user defined objects that are created at runtime. What does it mean? That when we write a code during like when we write a code, we create them, and at that time during runtime we use them, we modify them. Another point is they are assigned as a variable or in data structure. Like sometimes we assign some value, or we define some arguments in the function, so they are assigned as a variable or in data structure. Okay, so they are sometimes passed as an argument to function. Like we create one function and there's another function, so we create the function 1 as an argument to function 2. So they are created as an argument to n. And the another thing is they are sometimes returned as a result of function. So what does it mean? That when we create a one function and there is already another function, so we want to return the value of function 1, so we use a function 1 as an argument in function 2, so it will return the value of function 1. So sometimes they return the value, sometimes they are passed as an argument, sometimes they are assigned as a variable, and the most important thing is we create them during runtime. And because they are already user defined objects, so user create these classes and function. So returned as result of function. Okay, there is a code. I'm going to write a simple code of how do we create a function. So See, we are creating a function and we are using the conditional statements and we are returning the values. Now I'm going to explain the code, but first I'm going to write all the statements here. Return. See, now, now you can see where is the function. The function is greeting. See, greeting is a function, and what is the parameter or argument? Language is an argument we use in a function. So we can use the value of language in other functions as well, or we can use the function greeting in other functions as well. So what we are saying that the language, when we greet someone, we use multiple language. So it's a code of greeting which says that if the language is English, return the value hello. See, now the function is returning the value hello if this condition is true. If this condition is true, the function is returning hello. And another condition is if language is French, it will return the statement this. So you can see, as I already said, that they are also returned as a result of a function, means it can return the value. Else if the both conditions are false, so it will return the language not supported. So see, what will it print? It will print nothing because we haven't given argument, or we haven't give the function a value. So first we have to give the function, first we have to give the value to our function, then it will print something. For example, we will create another variable which will store the value of this function, and it will print the value. So for example, another variable is output, and we are giving the output, the value, for example, French. Okay, now you can see that we are giving the value of the value of the function French, and using function as a a value which is assigned to this variable output. Now print output, it will return the output. Now see, sorry, there is a spelling mistake. Now see, there's a we created a function and we gave all the we gave an argument language which is a parameter, and there are conditions we use in our function that if this is true, if it matches with this, return this, and if it matches with this, return this, otherwise return language not supported. Now why did it return anything? Because we didn't define a variable which is assigned to which a value is assigned of the language English, of the language French. So here output is a variable which stored the value of this function which is greeting, and the value is French. So it will go to this function and search where the French is. So this condition will true, language is French, so it will return whatever it is. So one important thing is since these are the user defined functions and all the user defined functions are objects, so we can do such thing like include them in other object or list as a such as list. We can include them as a list. Like we can create a function one, and we use function one as a list in some other object. For example, we create a list LA which and store the greeting function as an argument or parameter, and we will give it a value English. See, now what will it print? It will print out the value of English in the function greeting. Now you will see. No, first, what is the, no, it's a list, so definitely we are going to greeting of, we are going to store a multiple. We know that what is the function of list? It can store the multiple data at once. So see, here's the list containing all the three values, all the values we gave in our function. Now how will we print the list? By giving it an index. We all know that in list we use index to access an element, so we will use an index using this variable la, so it will print out whatever we want in this function. So no, not print, no, index, like we want to, this is the English is at index 0, French is at index 1, and German is at index 2. So we want to print the English, so it will return us, what is okay, greeting spelling again, greeting English, sorry. Why is it giving error? Because I've already given the, wait, I think, see, now at index 0 it will go here and search the value of English, but the value of English we already gave it in this function greeting. So I already told you these user defined functions are objects, so we can do a thing such as we can include the functions in other objects as a list, as in the form of list, in the form of tuples, in the form of sets. So we can use a function 1 as a list, or as a tuples, or as a sets. So this is a simple code that we wrote here for printing, for writing a function and giving them a value, and how we use these functions in how we assign these function as a to a variable. So there's another thing. Functions sometimes can also be used as an argument for another function. Like here, this is a function 1, so we can define another function which is, for example, a new function or any other function. So we can define the greeting as an argument in another function that we create. So I'm writing here a code for another function. So define, for example, a new function is function and new f, and we are giving it a parameter f, or we are giving it an argument f. So it will take f as an argument, and f will use to access the function, this greeting function. Okay, language is equals to English, and return f of, see, this is a new function. Wait, I'll first complete the code, and then I'll new of f. Now see, Now this is a function, this is a new function we created, and we gave f as an argument. In this function we set a language variable to English and then calls the function greeting with language variable as its argument. See, now we are calling the function greeting as its a language variable as an argument. We gave a language variable here and we are calling greeting function in our new function. This is how we use a function as an argument in another function, and this is how we access here. This is how we access the values of the values we use in a function, and how we use functions as a list in a variable, in any set, or in as a tuple, as a list. So hope you understand the topic.